My name is Steve Henderson, and I'm proud to introduce the MBA Avengers. We are a cross-functional squad of entrepreneurs protecting the universe from passive thinking. Our team includes John Cole, Nickie Eccleston, Alvarez, Stuart Briggs, and myself. Our latest mission, to improve the online experience for students and teachers of Lindisfarne Anglican Grammar School. Lindisfarne features elements from both migrators and pioneers, and they're currently outperforming competing institutions by most metrics. Nevertheless, in their efforts to deliver quality education, they share many of the same pain points as other schools, such as balancing teacher workload, actively engaging in a diverse audience of students, and of course, making sure that they're not only learning, but also connecting with one another. The recent need to make traditional courses suitable for online delivery has made maintaining student engagement far more critical than it once was, and a large gap in teacher capability has now become apparent, since educators who once trained in face-to-face environments must now learn how to design and deliver the courses online.
The purpose of this meeting is to review the recommendations for accreditation. Any suggestions? Anybody?
As I said before, we lack the resources to implement the changes the district demands. Now, there isn't a teacher in this room who isn't doing everything he possibly can.
I'm not. I could do more. I could help other teachers move their courses online.
What do you need, Mr. Escalante?
Intrapreneurship.
To find the needs of students and teachers, our team used an abstraction ladder to explore the strengths and growth areas for the current use of online education at Lindisfarne. Among the whys, we found that some of the teachers have not fully developed strong digital skills, nor do they understand the differences between delivering lessons online compared to face-to-face. Among the hows, we found that retraining teachers and providing students with some level of control over their education could deliver the quickest and most tangible results. We selected 6 points as the building blocks of our problem statement, which after a couple of iterations became the following. How might we support teachers to create more engaging online learning experiences that develop critical thinking, soft skills, and connections among students?
To gain some insights into causes and potential solutions, we interviewed teachers and parents of secondary school students. We used their experiences and observations to create a list of positive and negative aspects of online learning, as well as ideas for potential improvements.
Yeah, that's a really good question. So it wasn't as if they said, here's everything, get it done by the end of, June. Yeah. It was, this is due on this date, this one's due on this date. Mm. But I don't think that Kiralee could see that, and she was just trying to finish it all as soon as it all came in. So I think that's why she felt overwhelmed.
Some teachers really enjoy teaching online and they're really engaged with it. So having an option to learn online is just something that could make a difference to some kids.
Mm. That was half the battle, was trying to keep him on task. What assignments do you have? How much time are you meant to be spending on these assignments? Trying to work out, is he behind? Has he done 10% of that work, 50% of it, or has he actually done a full day's work? Like he's telling us he has.
A lot of my pracs actually were at schools that didn't have access to computers or any technology really. So a lot of my practice in the past there had been textbook and whiteboard and all that. We did a bit of...
I think now there's a little bit of an expectation of being able to integrate online more in the future and probably getting a bit more of a blended approach.
Flip class sometimes.
Yeah. I think that creates a lot more opportunities for flipping curriculum.
We grouped these discussion points into main themes and arrived at the following 5 insights. First, in the absence of adult supervision, a student's ability to self-manage in the planning and execution of their work is crucial. Coaching for this important skill could increase educational outcomes for every mode of learning. Second, online learning should provide differentiated learning activities to enable students to work at the level and pace of which they are capable. Designing customisable learning empowers individual students to learn in a way that is most effective for them. Third, teacher management of student e-learning is paramount. Expectations need to be clearly articulated by teachers to both students and their parents, and reflect considerations of the health and financial aspects of digital learning. Fourth, many teachers lack the prerequisite technology skills for online learning, and most do not understand the nuanced yet critical difference between face-to-face and online delivery. This disparity in teacher skills is creating an inequity of student access to quality e-learning, and therefore must be addressed through professional development. Last, students learn best when they feel connected to their teachers and peers and are interested. This could be achieved through a greater variety of learning activities that are interactive, collaborative, allow for critical discussion, and are fun. These insights highlighted two potential blue ocean paths. Path 3, whole subject delivery could be made available to other schools or students in the district where they aren't already offered. Path 6, in years to come, there is potential to offer fully online secondary education for other countries or remote students, much the same as universities are now providing. Next, we use the 5 insights to create a number of what-if statements by completing a brainwriting activity. From 5, we narrowed our choice of what-if statements down to 3. They were: create a straightforward training program for teachers by teachers for the online delivery of education. Create an online learning experience that encompasses interactive activities. And design a training program for teachers to engage students in managing their workflow in fun ways. Each of these what-if statements inevitably led us to our product concept, an online course builder that trains teachers to build engaging e-learning experiences. We called this product Engage. The group performed another individual brainwriting exercise using the ideas generation matrix for these 3 what-if opportunity statements. After repeated diverging and converging activities, we voted on the most important and relevant ideas for addressing the original problem statement, and ended up with 7 final ideas to take forward. A prioritization matrix was used by our group, first to rank the relative importance of each of the ideas, and second to determine the relative difficulty of implementation for each idea. The matrix helped us to identify the highest return on investment and easy win ideas. They were: design the training of teachers to be the same as the student experience. Provide opportunities to leverage online interactions for improved educational outcomes. And include options for collaboration and social bonding with other class students. At this point, we created our preliminary concept poster for Engage, our online education system. This poster enabled us to work through essential product design factors and provided a roadmap for designing a prototype to test our assumptions in the next phase of our human-centered design. Before building our prototype, we created a grid to identify the competitive features and assumptions required to validate the marketability of our concept. This helped us plan the scope of our testing scenario in which a teacher builds an online lesson. This activity has been scaffolded for the teachers. Then we built a simple prototype in Excel with very basic functionality to demonstrate how Engage might look and behave. We sought feedback for user-friendliness, time effectiveness, meeting curriculum requirements, and customization. We tested it with some educators and captured their feedback using a Think Aloud and a post-test debrief. After reviewing and collating the feedback, we categorised it using the Rosebud Thorn method, which revealed that the first impressions of our prototype were predominantly positive and fully aligned with our desired outcomes. Some of the positive feedback we gathered from prototype testing was: student choice was a big plus for student and teacher engagement, colour coding for lessons components made it easy to understand, and being able to meet curriculum requirements was a big time saver for teachers. There were also some concerns, such as, at first there would be a minimal number of resources for early adopters, and that the presentation of the activities needs to look more exciting. This feedback was understandable as participants were looking at a basic prototype, but was nevertheless valuable. One of the suggested improvements we captured was that providing incentives for teachers to upload lesson components could not only help increase the size and variety of our modular resource libraries, but could also foster a sense of community and even recognition amongst teachers who would act as content creators. After analysing all the feedback we received, we updated our original concept poster, paying particular attention to the section covering why this concept might fail. For Lindisfarne decision makers to improve an investment of time, money and teacher resources for this product innovation, we would need to determine a critical mass for the number of learning resources required for delivery at our early product launches. To achieve this, we believed it might be more productive to initially focus on only 1 or 2 core subjects, such as maths and English, and only for students in one particular year level. So what's next? If Engage is approved, our first task will be to determine the initial subjects and year level to be targeted for launch. Designing and developing the first core units would need to commence at least a year in advance and only for Lindisfarne. This would allow us to test all functionality and learning benefits in a controlled environment with a large user base and without the added risks and costs of a mass release. During this time, platform data could be gathered and analysed to inform a continuous, iterative cycle of design, building and testing. Eventually, extending access to other schools could be considered after having fully validated the product's feasibility through our internal releases and after a careful study of external market demand and cost viability options.